Embiid played 35 minutes and scored 40 points against the Hawks last night as the Sixers even that playoff series at 1-1. Wilbon, which team should feel more confident going forward?
Tony, I don't know if this is a time to start popping your jersey for either one of them. I mean, I believe, as you know, and I think you believe this to some degree too, that there must be suffering. Suffering is a requisite in the NBA playoffs to advance deep in the playoffs later, after the suffering. I mean, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons and certainly Doc Rivers, they've had that, even though Doc's also won a championship. Atlanta, they haven't really had that as much. I mean, Trae Young, and there's a wonderful group, ensemble of terrific young players. They haven't had what I consider the requisite suffering, so I don't know how confident. They may be confident because they're young and they don't know any better. But at 1-1, it ain't jersey popping time. It's time to dig in and see if you can simply get up 2-1. Embiid has been tremendous, and you would think averaging 40 points a game or 39.5, they would be up 2-0. But, they got some work to do too.
See, that is my exact point. He has 79 points in 2 games, and they've split those 2 games. Well, they should have done better than that. He appears to be totally healthy, and yet we are still being told he has a torn meniscus. If that is true, I assume it's still torn. And at that point, I would have no particular confidence that Embiid would answer the bell again, and again. I don't think you can have confidence in that. I look at Atlanta, and I will address your point, because I have also believed that teams without playoff experience should be docile and go quickly in the first round. And yet the team you root for the most, Phoenix, has no playoff experience except for one player.
Yeah.
And they've won.
Jay Crowder has
so Atlanta can win. Atlanta took the home court away. Atlanta has not lost on its home court since April. They've won 13 or 14 straight at home, and now they get 2 at home. I think the advantage lays right now with Atlanta.
Let me mention this, Tone. One slight disadvantage, at least, DeAndre Hunter. One of the heroes at the University of Virginia on their recent runs before he got drafted by the Hawks. He's been declared out for the rest of the series. Now, he hadn't played so far, but he's been in and out of that lineup, but he helps. I mean, he's like 6'8", 6'9". He's an athlete. He can, I know it's not like missing your star, but
it's not.
I'd like to have all hands on deck.
And somebody should ask about Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons took 3 shots last night.
3?
He had 2 points. He was 0 for 2 from the foul line. He's a max player. Really? So that's no contribution at all, unless all they're saying to him is just guard Trae Young. That's all you do is guard Trae Young.
It's got to be more than that. Got to be more than that. In last night's late game, Donovan Mitchell poured in 45 points, including 32 in the second half. And Rudy Gobert added a game-clinching block as the Jazz jumped out to a 1-0 series lead over the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George combined for 2 points fewer than Mitchell had on his own. Tony, is Donovan Mitchell, the best player on the floor in this series now?
So he got 45, and I want to make sure that I correct my mistake on Ben Simmons. He had 4 points, all of 4 points.
3 shots.
Not
3
2
shots.
points. Okay. Donovan Mitchell had 45, and as you said, that total was more than playoff P and Kawhi Leonard put together. Is he the best player? Does he have 2 rings? Does he have 2 finals MVPs? Because there's a guy on the floor who's got that, and that is Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is a better player right now than Donovan Mitchell. Kawhi Leonard is not a star. We've talked about this before, but he is a great player. I believe I'm right when I say that in the previous series, he made every single shot he took in the fourth quarter, every single one. And in an elimination game, not game 1, in an elimination game, he had 45 points. So let's not go crazy, Sparky. Let's not. The best player, Donovan Mitchell is a wonderful player. The best player on the court is Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, Tony, I'm not going to disagree with you. I do think Donovan Mitchell's coming. He's coming. I mean, he is. And it may transition to that. As Kawhi Leonard gets a little older, he's been around for a little while now, and Donovan Mitchell seems happy to not wait for the baton to be passed to him, but to yank it out of somebody's hand. Donovan Mitchell, and you're right, Tony, he's got that star appeal. He does. I mean, and it's interesting, when he came in the league, there were people drawing the comparison with Dwayne Wade, and now Dwayne Wade is a part owner of the Utah Jazz. He can sit there and he can communicate. And Donovan Mitchell, not like some other young players, Donovan Mitchell gets on to the mic at the end of the game and says, I love it. I love for D-Wade to talk to me and coach me up in real time on the floor where he can see things I can't. And everything about Donovan Mitchell seems to be accepting and evolving and maturing. I love watching Donovan Mitchell. But right now it's Kawhi Leonard. But you know what, Tone? By the end of the playoffs, he's not going to be better than Kawhi by the end of the playoffs. But he could be right there neck and neck by the end of these playoffs if they beat the Clippers and he's the star.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.